Hello student, welcome all of you in our 16th lecture. This is lecture for the BSc second year class, semester 3rd. Paper is group analysis, 7th paper. So in previous lecture, we have discussed examples of group theory. So I think we discussed 2 examples there. Now we are going to study some more examples. So see here. Now we discuss example. Prove that the set Q naught. See here, set Q naught. And what is the set Q naught? It is the set of all non-zero rational number. What is this? All non-zero rational number. So Q naught is the set of all non-zero rational number. That means except non-zero rational number. Form group under the operation of multiplication. This is form group under operation of multiplication. That means binary operation is multiplication. So student, we have to show that this set of Q naught, it is the set of all non-zero rational number. Set of all non-zero rational number. It form a group under multiplication. We have to show that this set form the multiplication. Now we know that what is the set of rational number. So set of rational number Q is such a type of numbers. P by Q is called rational number, where PQ both belongs to integer and Q must not be equal to 0. And Q naught is the set of rational number where PQ belongs to I, Q naught equal to 0 and 0 not belong to Q naught. Like this. 0 is not there, all rational numbers are there, and we have to show that this is a group with respect to multiplication. So student, you think that why we are not taking here 0? Why we are not taking here 0? Because multiplicative inverse of 0 is 1 by 0. Because here 0 is 0 upon 1 and its inverse is 1 by 0. But 1 by 0 is not defined term. And therefore, we have taken here 0 must not be equal to, it must not belongs to Q naught. So if we try to show that this is a group, so we try first closure property. So if any two rational numbers we have taken and if we take their product, then we get again rational number. Product of two non-zero rational number is also non-zero. Any two rational number. Suppose I take particularly 1 by 2 into 4 by 9. Both are non-zero and their product 2 by 9 which is non-zero. That means belong to Q naught. So it is very simple and trivial. Nothing to show that. Second point is associative law. Associativity. So associativity, it is also very simple and you can prove on your level. What is the associativity? So multiplication of rational numbers is an associative composition. You can take any three rational number, or suppose A, B, C, three rational numbers. We can do like this product and after that A, or A dot B dot C. So no problem. Then after that, third point is existence of identity. Existence of identity. Existence of identity. In existence of identity, rational number 1 belong to Q naught. So 1 is there such that 1 into any rational number is equal to that rational number, or rational number into 1 is that rational number. For all the A belongs to Q naught. Means 1 is the non-zero rational number such that which play role of identity element in Q naught, because multiplying by 1 to any element, or for all the elements Q naught, if we multiply by that element to the 1, we get that element. So third property also satisfied. Now fourth property is existence of inverse. Existence of the inverse. Yes, if 1 by A, or if A is the any rational number, then 1 by A is its inverse rational number, because A into 1 by A is equal to 1. So if we choose 5 is a rational number, then 1 by 5 is inverse rational number. So any non-zero rational number has non-zero inverse element is there with respect to multiplication. So student, this is example for group. Now we discuss again that for the any rational number we check fifth property. Fifth property is for check whether the given set is a abelian or not abelian. So for the any rational number A dot B, so B dot A must be satisfied. For all the AB belongs to Q naught. So if we choose, I take 1 by 3 into 4 by 9. So this is also equal to 4 by 9 into 1 by 3, no doubt, belongs to Q naught. And therefore set of non-zero rational number Q naught form group, and not only group, it form abelian group. Now we discuss next example. Set of all rational number X. Set of all rational number X such that all element lies between 0 to less or equal to 1. And we have to show that it form group with respect to usual multiplication. So with respect to usual multiplication, this set. Now we try to define this set by given let G be the set in which element are X, and X is a rational number. And lies between 0 less or equal to 1. So in previous example, there were Q naught be the set of non-zero rational number, and here we take G, actually it is interval What is this? This is semi-closed interval or semi-open interval. See here, it is semi-closed interval. That means 0 is not there but 1 is there. 0 is not there but 1 is there. And 0 is not there means this is a rational number without 0 or non-zero rational number. So here we have to show it is a group or not group. So dear student, this is a set, it is interval. We now check step by step. First point, check whether it is closure or not. Check whether it is closure or not. If you take the any number, suppose I take 0.01 into 0.09, so then we get proper 0.0009, again belongs to interval 0,1. So it is closure. If we check associativity, so then this will be satisfied. Last is third is identity element. So here 1 is identity and which is belongs to this set. Now what's about the inverse? Now we discuss last point, that means last postulate, inverse. If we choose 0.2, now 0.2 is means 2 by 10. So inverse of 2 by 10 is 10 by 2. And what is 10 by 2? 10 by 2 is 5. Is it right? Because 2 by 10 into 10 by 2 is equal to 1. That means 2 by 10 into 5 is 1. But this 5 does not belongs to interval 0, 1. So for this element 0.2 which belongs to 0, 1, our set, its inverse that is 5 does not belongs to this interval, and therefore this set is not a group. So try to understand this. What is meant by group, or which sets represent a group and which sets does not represent a group. Now we are going to discuss one important theorem, and that is uniqueness of identity theorem. This is a very interesting and very famous theorem. And this theorem is called uniqueness of identity. Uniqueness of identity. Uniqueness of identity. So we know that a set G is said to be group if set G satisfy sub-postulate. And the postulates are: first postulate is closure property, second is associative, and third is existence of identity. So statement is that the identity element in a group is unique. In a group it is unique. That means third property in the definition of group, third property or third postulate is that, so in a group there is one identity element. Now there is a exist identity element. Now question is that whether identities are unique or more identities may be there. So its answer is, in group there is only one identity element exists. So in group, either group is finite, that means it has the sum, let us 1, 2, 3 to 10 elements, or let us 1, 2, 3 to infinite element. But whatever the number of elements in the group, identity must be there is unique. Identity is unique. Now we are going to prove it. Show that the identity element in a group is unique. So for this proof, we consider suppose the group has two elements, E and E dash, identity element of the group. Both are identity element. We have to show that these identity are not distinct but same. Identity elements. We are considering, suppose in group Z, two identity elements are exist. So we have E into E dash is equal to E if E dash is identity. No doubt, we say that E and E dash both are identity elements, two identity elements, and we choose here suppose this identity. So identity, these are all identities. Identity into this element is identity, so this we get E. And we can also write this E into E dash is equal to E dash. If we take particularly E is identity, no doubt. But E dash is a unique element of Z. But E and E dash is unique element. According to closure property, if any two element belongs to the group Z, then their product form the unique element. So this E into E dash and E into E dash is a unique element. That is only single element, and therefore E into E dash is equal to E, and E into E dash is equal to E dash implies that E is equal to E dash. That means we consider that E and E dash are two different identity, but after proof we found that E and E dash are not a distinct element, but it is the same element. That is the same element, and therefore identity element in the group is always unique. So student, we stop it here. In the next lecture we discuss one next theorem. Some more theorems are given, and I think in the next lecture our first chapter may be finished. So revise first chapter properly and try to understand each and everything. Thank you very much.